Another disappointing loss to the Steelers. And the question that we're asking to start the show, and this is a tough one, are you okay with Freddie Kitchens wearing the Pittsburgh Started t-shirt in public ahead of yesterday's game? You can go to WKYC.com/vote now to tell us what you think, and we'll talk more about that in a bit. But first, the beat goes on for our Browns. Betsy, we sat through it. It was a tough loss, 20-13 the final. And this one effectively ends their playoff hopes. Pittsburgh playing yesterday without its starting quarterback, without its best running back, and without its best wide receiver. And they still beat the Browns, a team, Betsy, with all-world talent.
And the question still comes back to this dude right there, our head coach, Freddie Kitchens, who, as Jay said, he wore this shirt, which obviously you can't really see the whole thing there, but we know that it says Pittsburgh started it. And he wore it to a movie on Friday night and said after the game he wouldn't do it again.
My daughters wanted me to wear the shirt, and I'd wear it again. I'd put a jacket on, I covered it up, I took a picture with a fan. That was as simple as that, you know. T-shirt, I mean, T-shirt didn't cause us to give up 40-yard passes, and we were ready to play. That's the only thing people need to be concerned about. We were ready to play.
So he would do it again.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said we were ready to play. That's the only thing that matters.
Right.
And they were.
Yeah.
And then they just flipped the switch.
Well, this has been Axelrod, one of our 3 News sports analysts. You have been following this for quite some time, too. What do you think of the whole T-shirt gate that's going on?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty wild. Here we are. This is a day where the Browns were, for all intents and purposes, just eliminated from the playoffs. I mean, this is the story we should be talking about. And we're talking about a T-shirt. We're talking about apparel. You know, we're talking about shoes. This has kind of been a microcosm of the Browns season. This team has been defined by poor decision-making from their head coach and defined by a team that has more bark than bite. And we saw it on Friday night when Freddie Kitchens wore that shirt to the movie theater.
It really does, Ben. It feels like this is the culture. It's a bit Wild West.
Yes.
And it feels like, you know, it kind of feels like there's no adult in the room. And you can't have, that's a bad culture for an NFL team.
Yeah, and I think the contrast with the Pittsburgh Steelers is a perfect example of that. The Steelers are a team that is down to its quarterback, who was its 4th string quarterback at the start of the season, without its star wide receiver in Juju Smith-Schuster, without its star running back in James Conner. And they find a way to win. They're in the playoffs right now. In the Cleveland Browns, with all the talent in the world, with Odell Beckham Jr., with Jarvis Landry, with Baker Mayfield, not in the playoffs for all intents and purposes, again, eliminated.
I pulled Betsy and Ben some comments. This is what the Steelers had to say about the shirt.
Oh, geez.
And I think this says it all. I think it was pretty stupid. Of course it's going to motivate us. What are you thinking? It's just not smart. This one's crazy. You just don't see that from upper management.
That's the one.
And then why throw gas? And this is the most telling of all. Ramon Foster is a lineman for the Steelers. He says he's not on the field. You throw your players in harm's way when you do stuff like that with a vengeance, and I hate that for them. So here's a Steelers player showing Browns players pity for something their head coach did. Can't have that.
No, you can't.
You can't have it.
And we've talked about this. You don't see this from Mike Tomlin. You don't see this from Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
You don't. What other head coach yesterday was answering questions in his post-game press conference about T-shirts?
And saying he'd do it all over again.
Exactly. I mean,
Crazy.
that's your 2019 Cleveland Browns.
Ben, thanks.
Thank you.